check him out. Shout out to the body language guy. Let's get to it. Put one in the chat where you can see and hear. Let's go.
So we were waiting for Turning Point to broadcast their debunking of all of Candace Owens' conspiracy theory claims today when Erika Kirk posted this at the last minute. Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December 15. Candace and I have agreed that public discussions, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. Thank you. To what Candace Owens replied, I am very much looking forward to this discussion. So this was really unexpected. I can't deny that I have a bad feeling about this, but while we wait for the outcome, I want to mention, let's say, the outcome of my last couple of videos. One of them being my stance on Candace Owens, and the other one being my body language analysis of Erika Kirk's body language when Candace was brought up. Maybe you already watched both of them.
I can say this. I will agree to that. Erika Kirk shot some hilarious facial expressions. I laughed when I saw it. And we reacted to the CBS News town hall interview on Sunday. So make sure you go check out that live stream from Sunday. And I also have the actual full interview on my channel with no commentary, no commercial breaks, just the actual interview itself, the town hall interview. But the facial expressions were just off the charts. And I loved every minute of it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm glad she was able to express her emotions through her facial expressions. Some people are just expressionable like that. It's like written all over their face, how they're really feeling. And they don't have to really say it or in their body language. So this is crucial when it comes down to interrogations as well. These factors matter when you're trying to get information out of someone and determine if they're telling the truth or if they're lying. And I appreciate the way he puts this together and, presents his information here. So
maybe you didn't, but right now I'm going to kind of spoil both of them. Let's start with my stance on Candace Owens. If I had to summarize that video in a single sentence, it would be that, in my opinion, most, if not all, that Candace Owens has done since Charlie Kirk was murdered was in bad faith. Yes.
That part right there. It was in bad faith. Hence why I said, remember that when I said good faith. Candace acted in bad faith the entire time. And because it didn't have any rhyme or reason, and this information is being debunked with actual real evidence and information that can be Googled. So this is what I mean. Bad faith. Malice intent. And it's a definition of malice. You're acting in bad faith. There's some ill will. I still say Candace Owens is jealous of Erika Kirk. But the fact that she can't even be grateful for, Boys Club and her 4 kids, it speaks volumes. She doesn't even talk about her children like she talked about this whole thing with Charlie Kirk, with his assassination. About Turning Point. Even Erika. She never came out and said, listen, I don't need you all out here just attacking Erika Kirk on social media. If you're going to make statements, or even give your opinions on something, be respectful. She never once said that. She could have taken some level of accountability and kept her cult members in check. And she refused to do that. She doesn't care what they say or do. She's already said she hates everyone. So at the end of the day, why get shocked when we say that Candace was, and it still is, severely jealous of Erika Kirk? To the point where it's disturbing. She acted in bad faith. And I agree with him on this.
Yes, everyone is allowed to ask questions, but her reckless tips have put innocent people in danger, such as the man in maroon shirts the day Charlie was killed. And it's obvious that she has some kind of personal rift with Erika. The glee that Candace displayed when Erika told her to stop the first time was unsettling. So again, in the first 30 seconds of that video, I wanted to be very clear that and tell Candace Owens fans that they were not going to like what I was going to say. And maybe they could save themselves the 25 minutes of video and just jump straight to unsubscribe. No hard feelings whatsoever.
Exactly. Yep.
I thought that this was going to be a shitstorm of vitriol and mean comments, and I must say that I was wrong. I was pleasantly surprised that even if many people disliked the video, hundreds of people unsubscribed, there were mean comments and ad hominem attacks, but the majority of the comments were positive. In fact, there were fans of Candace Owens who landed on my video. It was the first video they ever watched from my channel, and they liked it. Well, that was unexpected. I'm not gonna say that there were many of them, but there were some of them, and I must say that I was surprised because in previous videos, when I mentioned Candace Owens and say things that like I'm not a fan of her, I got pretty heated comments. But well, this turned out to be a positive experience. Whoever wanted to stay, stayed, and whoever wanted to leave, well, left.
He made it clear, if you want to sit here and do all that nonsense, just unsub. I mean, can you blame him? Me personally, I've been on YouTube long enough to not give a damn about a cult member. At least what they think and how they feel when they can't prove anything. Who cares? I don't care what they think and feel. They won't even get her to post up that FBI text message. I mean, simple stuff. So when they're not fact checking her and demanding that she presents actual evidence that can be corroborated, in real time, even, let them throw their tantrums. They know, and they understand when they come here to the Lady Luck Club. Many of them are still going to announce when they're leaving, and then they come back under a different profile name because, bots, they do what they do. But it doesn't stop me from still saying what I want to say, presenting any information or evidence, and then asking sensible, reasonable questions based on evidence and documentation. I don't theorize just out of midair. No, it's based on a set of facts and information. That's it. I'm not going to ask about when did the gun come into camera view out of nowhere. It came from the fact that I didn't read that clearly in the indictment. I've asked about that. So, some people are new, but I've asked about that several times when I went over the indictment myself. When did the gun come into camera view? Where's the camera footage showing him pulling out the gun on the roof? Doesn't mean that I don't believe he did it or didn't do it. I believe he did it. I believe there's sufficient evidence that would prove in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt, in corroboration with his testimony and his admittance to it. He admitted to killing Charlie Kirk. There's no evidence to prove the contrary because Candace Owens won't tell us who the shooter is. So when it comes down to it, you either agree or you don't agree. At the very least, produce evidence. Eric, tell us the name of this Swiss bank. Can't make this up. That's how they are. It's gonna happen like that. You're just gonna get the cult members just gonna come in and throw tantrums, and then they'll be in and out. They'll be fine.
Then the next day, I decided to analyze Erika Kirk's reaction when she heard Candace Owens' name in a CBS program. And one thing that I really made sure in that analysis was to be completely unbiased and just describe body language, nothing else.
Exactly.
It was not until the last 30 seconds of the video that I said something along the lines that Erika Kirk's reaction is understandable if somebody is threatening Charlie's life project, which obviously implies that I support Erika Kirk. And for the sake of clarity, I want to make it really clear that I stand with Erika Kirk.
Yeah. Oh. It's just refreshing to hear that again. There you go. It shouldn't be, any confusion in that. But I'm not here to change the minds of anyone that just worships Candace Owens either. I'm not here to stop you in your idolation. Have at it. Have fun. Don't force the rest of us to have to sit here and accept this BS she's saying. Don't force us to stop supporting Erika Kirk and to stop actually pursuing the truth in facts and documentation. Because they love to construe the definition of that word. Shout out to Truth is Life in the chat. Thank you.
It doesn't mean that I don't think that her actions as current CEO of Turning Point shouldn't be scrutinized. Right. She should be professionally. In fact, I want to correct an omission in my Candace video that could be subject to misinterpretation. I said that the Turning Point dudes should be subject to scrutiny as any other organization. I should have been more clear and said that Erika obviously should be subject to that professional scrutiny as well. Notice that I emphasize the word professional. Yeah. This is on purpose because I need to talk about the comments under my video analysis. In all my content making career, I have dealt with all sorts of toxicity, and comments can get really vicious, really fast in some instances. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could prepare me for what I saw in the first couple hours of that video going live. There were the most borderline psychotic people saying that Erika is a literal demon. I mean, I think that was the lightest remark on her. I have never seen something like this. Now, a fraction of my audience claims that I don't allow dissent, but I always invite you to comment in a civilized and polite way. One thing that did not happen.
Yeah, because he got the right to sit here and say, you come into my channel, my platform, you're going to be civilized and respectful. I mean, seriously. Candace Owens put out this lie. People are trying to shut her up, but yet she has 3 to 4 months worth of videos where she's not shutting up. So the fact that she said that is a lie in and of itself. It's misleading and it's deceptive. Terms interchangeably used with the word lie. No one stopped her from saying anything. She still got in front of a camera and said everything she wanted to say. And then turned around and said, I would never apologize for it. Oh, okay. But when it comes boomerang and bite her in the ass, then, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. The same way that, we all have the right to freedom of speech and expression. It's the same way, especially if you're a content creator or independent journalist like I am, or if you're the behavioral, the body language guy, we have the right to not read your nonsense. You can't force us to read the crap. So if we time it out or delete the comment, then that's what it comes down to. I don't understand. Why can't people have just conversations and ask questions like the one here? I'm going to answer this. I have no idea what's going on with the firings over there at TPUSA. But I have said numerous times that if any TPUSA employee sees something or come across, anything in writing or documentation, or they hear conversation or anything that they deem would be viable for an investigation of some sort, that they can be a whistleblower and have that added protection under federal law. The Whistleblower Act is a federal law that protects people coming forward to say something has occurred that is unethical, illegal, and or immoral, that is worthy of getting some level of attention, to at least have somebody look into it and investigate it. People who are licensed and certified to do that. So if they're going to do that, if anything being done that's unethical, illegal, and or immoral is legitimate and authentic, they should not have any fear at this point of losing their job or experiencing retaliation. Now, if TPUSA fires people and they are protected under the Whistleblower Act, and the information that they're presenting is viable and credible, you don't get protections under the Whistleblower Act if you're lying like hell. If you're just perpetuating her nonsense with no evidence, that Whistleblower Act will be irrelevant to you. I'm sure TPUSA will look into whatever comments or complaints or allegations brought forward to them. But as far as the protection under federal law, they have nothing to lose. If they're going to come forward on social media, why can't they do the same thing when it comes down to coming forward when it comes to being a whistleblower? That would be the best route to take. So I wouldn't agree to anybody just being fired, especially if they're trying to speak out because something legitimately went wrong within TPUSA. My issue is when they're only willing to come out on social media, but they don't have the boldness and the courage to come out as a whistleblower. They won't even use the terminology. They won't even say, I'm trying to be a whistleblower. I've already filed a complaint, this, that, and the third, XYZ, within TPUSA, and if need be, if it's a matter of something being, illegal and even criminalistic, then you go to the authorities. They're not even saying that. These people are coming out saying they work with Turning Point and this stuff, they're not even saying that they're going to do it the right way. They're going to file a formal complaint and do it the right way. It almost invalidates their level of credibility in what they're, bringing forth to the public. Because if they won't do it the right way, professionally, under federal law protection, then why should anyone believe them when they're just simply running to social media? The same thing with Candace. No one has to believe that she has an assassination attempt on her when she won't provide evidence. The receipts of these transactions from payments from the French president to Club de Sante, or tell us who the high-ranking French government employee is, or to show that FBI text message she sent, or give the name of that high-ranking FBI official, or show a confirmation of her submitting a former FBI complaint. When you can't even act in good faith and present evidence to support any of that, no one is obligated to believe you. Point blank. If I see something going wrong that is unethical and illegal in the company I work for, in my organization, and I want to shed light on it and report it, I'm going to go, at the very least, to HR, to the ethics compliance department, where they will investigate it. And if they suck at it, then I go public and show evidence that I went to HR, I went to the ethics department, they did an investigation, and they still sat and played in my face. So now I have to go public. That's how that should go. That's what I believe. Anyway, and it would make sense. It's logic. I'm not going to be scared on one end, but on the other end, when it comes to social media and this so-called court of public opinion, I have all the boldness in the world, if that makes sense. So I would not agree, based on the circumstances to which anyone is being fired at TPUSA, if they're being fired because they're a whistleblower, even if they went to social media first and not to the actual authorities or to the, ethics department in TPUSA, I'm assuming they have one. Even if it's compliance in HR. If they wouldn't even go that route or go straight to the FBI and try to get that protection under the Whistleblower Act, I mean, they shouldn't be fired for that because, TPUSA should not be retaliating. That would be illegal. But if these people aren't even trying to show good faith efforts that they're trying to handle it the right way, then, I'm sure as a nonprofit, they still have the right to release someone because, no, you don't have to work for a company. Certain states have, right to hire, right to fire laws. So if there's no issue regarding harassment or you're not a whistleblower or, whatever, you don't have a contract, where you are violating it if you try to leave or go leave without following the contract itself, they have the right to release who they want to release overall. So it would suck if they were doing it the wrong way, but it's their company. that's kind of my thoughts on that. So I hope I answered your question. This is what I mean. Ask questions. Hopefully, this question is asked in good faith, but ask questions. We have no problem answering questions. I know I don't. So, shout out to you for the question. All right, let's get back to it. Jesus is waiting.
Happened with that video. And in all cases, I have always wanted to treat my channels, especially this one, with a sense of community. Now, imagine somebody going to the comments to ask a question about my body language analysis or leave an opinion of Erika, which you're absolutely entitled to, and face a literal wall of batshit crazy comments. That is an instant turn off. That is like imagining Nancy Pelosi in a baby doll. But in all cases, thanks to all of you who, in spite of the wall of batshit crazy comments, still gave your 2 cents in a civilized way. And thank you for that. Yeah. And yes, some of those comments were critical of Erika Kirk, and that's okay. In fact, to make things even worse, some were attacking me in the comments, telling me to leave Erika alone, which, again, I was just doing a body language analysis of her reaction. Maybe I have made my stance a bit more clear in this topic with this video. Now, standing for Erika Kirk doesn't mean that I can't make observations when I think Erika Kirk fumbles something or makes mistakes like in this video. I mean, I try to be fair most of the time, and not gonna lie, in just really 48 hours, I have blocked more people on X that I have blocked since 2020.
Good grief. What are you candy ass cult members doing to this poor man? What the hell y'all doing? He had to block people on Twitter X in 48 hours like this? You can't make this. Are you serious? This is insane. What are you all doing over there? Oh man, the idea of civility is just, like I said, is hypocrisy on steroids. They're only, civil when you're saying what they want you to say, but then you say anything to the contrary. And I don't agree with it coming from either side. Whether you support Erika Kirk or you don't go tagging somebody because, they're pointing out something and they're trying to be impartial and fair about it. Don't attack the man. I don't care which stance you take here. Don't attack him. I mean, personally, I just ignore, the BS until there's something dumb, like a death threat or something like that. But other than that, cult members are going to be cult members, bots are bots.
Let that sink in.
Y'all over there harassing me,
yes, I block and mute people who come in bad faith or call me names or criticize me for points that I have thoroughly explained in videos or repeatedly reply to an argument with something that has nothing to do with the argument.
Exactly.
And notice that I have repeated the words bad faith many times during this video because those words are important.
Yep.
Important in the sense that I see way too many spineless people in here not making a stand for what they think is right.
Exactly.
Some are using the word feud to name what's going on between Erika Kirk and Candace Owens, which I think is misleading because usually a feud means that two factions are attacking each other. And in this case, we already know where the attacks have been coming from repeatedly over the past 3 months. And I'm going to add something else to that. I'm going to tell you that the majority of Charlie Kirk murder investigators didn't give a flying fuck about Charlie Kirk while he was alive.
Oh, man. Oh, you better tell it like it is. It's just a pleasure to hear this again. I've seen this video once, but boy, does it ring true. They did not give a flying F at all. Now they want to know where a dead body is buried. And for what? Unless Charlie Kirk actually paid your bills. Why would you need to know that? And then they're saying, oh, it's so gross for Erika to post up this video of her with her deceased husband in a casket. But you want to know where he is in the ground, in that casket. Make it make sense? Make it make sense. She invited people into that video. People want to know where his dead body is buried. But they can't sit here and they can't even look at evidence on a plane or ask Candace to post up, that FBI text message I'm still asking for. Like she can't even do the bare minimum. But they're trying to demand that Erika Kirk tell them where the body is buried. You can't make this up. It's soulless. It's soulless and heartless. You got all these soulless miscreants just roaming the earth.
In fact, so many of the people that Candace quotes on her show used to openly attack Charlie when he was alive.
Yeah.
You might ask me, do you have hard numbers about this, Jesus? Do you have something to support your claims? And I will tell you that I don't know, but I know. In fact, it was revealed to me in a dream.
Let that marinate. Just let that marinate for a minute. Oh, I love it. This is how it's done. Use Candace Owens' words against her. Because she said it first. Candace, you are bad at this, heifer. He's just simply using her words against her, because we don't know, but we know, and Candace don't know no good. and neither does, Boys Club. Boys Club stands behind the camera and let this crap happen for 3.5, 4 months. I guess this is his way of telling Candace to go make him a sandwich now. By somehow she's magically had time herself to fly out to Phoenix to face Erika Kirk face to face. Like I said last week she should do. Candace, stop stealing my damn quotes. She's bad at this. He said, we don't know, but we know, She don't know no good.
Hard numbers about this, Jesus? Do you have something to support your claims? And I will tell you that I don't know, but I know. In fact, it was revealed to me in a dream. Now, to make sure that you jump to the comments right now and call me a fed, which really wouldn't surprise me, I want to add something to this discussion, and it's Tyler Robinson. It's a recurring joke that Candace Owens has hinted at virtually everyone.
Yeah, don't you look like George a little bit? Maybe his hair is not as blonde. You see him resemble his hair. And this just clicked to me out of nowhere. It just clicked. Like he resembles. He looks a lot like Boys Club, like George Farmer. I mean, it's just, maybe it's the soulless blank stare, because this is facing evil. It's like anyone else that think they have the right to take somebody's life. Just evil and dark and sinister. Like George. You can't make this up.
Implicated in the Charlie Kirk assassination, except for Tyler Robinson. And I've gotten angry comments saying that Candace has never implied that Tyler Robinson couldn't be the shooter.
Are you
and
kidding?
Yes, she absolutely has.
Receipts. Oh, shout out to Cinema Shogun. This is from her video. Because the candy ass is always telling me to watch her shows. We do. And you still don't like it. Once again, I don't care how you feel. This is it. This is why I do closed captions. And if you go to this video, look at the transcript. All Cinema had to do was just copy and paste her words. I love it when this happens. I love when people are able to use her words against her. Because when you hear it out loud, you realize, like, man, this is just god awful. It shows how dumb Candace can be. Like, this makes no sense. Candace, you won't even tell us who this so-called FBI agent is. Like, we're still waiting on that name. You can't say somebody works for the feds and then say, we don't trust the feds, while they want to impersonate investigators of the CIA. You can't make this up.
I'm going to leave a link in the description to a 3-minute video in which she says that the story of Tyler's parents turning him in is phony, that Tyler was bewildered with the accusations, that Tyler had never set foot in the UVU campus, and that it was a stretch to believe that he could have done all that by himself.
She said it all.
That last part is the thing I also have some issues believing. I told you a few days ago that I was around 90 or 95% sure that it was Tyler Robinson. But After watching Gary Melton's awesome recaps and interviews on his Paramount Tactical channel, I have to say that my certainty that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk is now 100%, which I'm sure will break a lot of people's hearts. You will call me a fad. I told you so. That they got to me. I have never understood what does that they mean in that sense.
Yeah, because Candace speaks in third person language. We, us, our, they, them. And then, you know, every so often she goes back to referring to herself in the third person. It's insane. Candace, Judge Rennie is going to order you to a psyche eval, girl. I hope you know that is a 95% possibility. Don't fight it if it happens, Candace. Just go and do the psyche eval. It's unbelievable how she forgets that her videos are recorded, and all you have to do is press play and turn on the closed caption, and you can see the words come out of her mouth, just like when she said, "I hate everyone. We are all treasonous. We're all traitors. We're all treasonous." Who what? No, you and your coat. That's it. Maybe the box, but leave us out of it. But this is what she does. And when people use her words against her, you know, she gets mad about it. For what? And then tries to twist it up. No, this is what you said in your videos that are recorded and immortalized on YouTube. Like, you can't make this up. Thee and they and them and oh my God.
Or that I'm cashing in $7,000 checks. But well, I made this video to set the record straight. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.
Oh my God.